One casualty of Hurricane Helene you might not have thought about is North Carolina's Christmas tree industry. The state's supply took a massive hit. It's tough to quantify, but there were an estimated 40,000 acres of Christmas trees before Helene struck. Government figures show North Carolina ranks second in the country when it comes to the amount of Christmas trees grown and cut. That's as of 2022, the last year federal data is available. I want to bring in Dr. Justin Whitehill. He's an assistant professor at North Carolina State University and the director of the school's Christmas Tree Genetics Program. Professor, thank you so much for being here. I don't know if I should call you Professor or Justin, but tell us specifically about Helene's impact on the Christmas tree supply in your state.
Well, thanks for having me, and please call me Justin.
Okay.
Yeah, Hurricane Helene was a devastating event that occurred. I don't want to downplay that. But by and large, our Christmas trees themselves survived quite well. Most of our trees are planted on the sides of mountains, and we already try to control for the flow of water. Where the main damage really occurred was sort of in the valleys and between the mountains, where our growers have their equipment and their operations, nursery production, and the losses in those regions were really significant. There were a group of about 6 to 8 growers in one county that suffered somewhere around 30 to 35 million in losses, and we estimate around the whole state, for the Christmas tree industry at least, losses to be somewhere in that $100 to $125 million range.
Wow. And so is that something that growers and businesses and consumers will feel the effect of now in this season, or will the effects be felt for years to come?
Well, I think this season our growers are incredibly resilient here in North Carolina. They did a great job in sort of getting everything back into a condition where we could have a meaningful harvest this year and get to those trees that were impacted. But in future years, we're really going to have to kind of wait and see what happens. We do expect there to be some after effects in the long term, potentially with some of the diseases or pests that were moved around the state. But by and large, our industry is very strong, and we expect a good year this year. And what we've been telling consumers is really the best way to support Western North Carolina's recovery this year is to get out there and get a real Fraser fir Christmas tree to sort of celebrate during the holidays.
Now, because North Carolina is so prolific and growing, does that mean that somebody in Idaho or Arizona or here in New York, some of the trees could be North Carolina Fraser firs?
It's possible. We ship our trees around the country.
Wow.
There's a strong demand for Christmas trees and Fraser fir in particular. The Fraser fir is the most preferred and the most popular Christmas tree species in the United States, which accounts for about 35% of all real trees sold. So every 1 in 3 real trees that adorn folks' living rooms during the holidays is a Fraser fir, and North Carolina supplies about 20 to 25% of all real Fraser fir in the United States.
You know, it is a significant investment for families, and so I don't want to make light of this topic because what we're talking about is people's livelihoods and very serious. But for those people who do purchase a tree, do you have any advice for them when they have it to really prolong its life and really keep that joy going as long as possible?
Yeah, there are all kinds of things that folks can do. The biggest thing I think that people can do is to keep their trees near kind of a cooler portion of your house if possible. If you put it right next to a fireplace, you're going to need to water that tree and really keep it happy. If you put it in a cooler spot, that kind of prolongs the life a little bit, but make sure you're giving it fresh water as often as it needs in that first few days. It's going to drink a lot of water, so keep it really happy with clean, fresh, cool water. You don't need to add any additives or anything like that. Just keep the tree happy, water it, and you should have a great year. Well,
we certainly appreciate you coming on. And we, of course, our thoughts are with everybody who is impacted by Helene. Dr. Justin Whitehill, thank you and happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays as well.